In the heart of our great nation, where the strength of our communities is built upon the foundation of strong and loving families, an urgent crisis is unfolding. Child Protective Services, CPS, an institution designed to safeguard our most vulnerable, has in many cases betrayed its noble mission. Too often, families are torn apart not by neglect or abuse, but by systemic failures and corruption. We can no longer stand idly by as these injustices continue. We are here to give a voice to those who have been isolated, to shine a light on the corruption, and to rally our fellow citizens in this critical fight for justice. Every day, countless families are caught in a web of bureaucracy and abuse of power, their lives disrupted and their bonds shattered. Children, who should be nurtured and protected, are instead placed in situations that can be just as, if not more, harmful than the circumstances from which they were taken. Parents, often bewildered and powerless, face insurmountable odds as they fight to reunite with their children. This is not the America we believe in. We cannot allow these injustices to persist. Our mission is to educate, to inform, and to inspire action. We promise to bring you daily updates on CPS, exposing the truth and fighting for reform. We must remember that the future of our nation depends on the strength and unity of our families. By standing together, we can hold CPS accountable and ensure that it fulfills its true purpose, protecting children and preserving families. This is a fight we must not and will not lose. We are committed to saving our families and securing a brighter future for all. The road ahead is challenging, but with your support, we can make a difference. Together, we will bring hope to those who have lost it and ensure that justice prevails. Let us unite with unwavering resolve and a sense of patriotic duty to safeguard the integrity of our families and the future of our nation.
In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
stop CPS, and abolishcpS.com is leading the way. Join us.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to CPS Victims Hunting Justice. I am your host, CPS Punisher, and I've got my co-host here in the realms waiting. Last night, guys, we actually first let's remember this. Let's remember to share. Let's remember to chat, which is right here to my right. Boom, right there. Tell your friends about it. Do whatever you can do to spread the word about this stuff, because education is the key to beating these people, or at least that's what we're trying to educate so that we can beat these people. Remember the basics, guys. The basics, you should do every day. Go over this with your children. Go over it with your family. Go over it. If CPS comes, what do we do? Yada, 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 yada. What happens? How do we handle this? What do we say to them? Who do we contact? Have a sheet on the wall that if CPS comes to you, boom, this is what we do. These are all little things to prevent CPS from removing your child, because once they come there and they gain access to you, it is too late. That all being said, let's get Herbert and Vinny out here. I believe that's Vinny back there. Herbert, how are we doing, bud?
Fine. How are you?
Doing? I'm all right. What do you got going on? You got any research done today? You learning anything new today?
No, there's some more children drowning.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Yeah, I've been pretty freaking busy here today.
Okay.
So I'm gonna look at that right now, though. Where was it? Let's talk about this.
No, we have one thing out here in Arizona, some in Nevada, some other states. New Mexico. Drowning in the pools.
My Lord.
You're supposed to have like safety vests and stuff on. Don't these people realize this?
Right?
Sound like you know what, Vinny? What you just said, you sound like CPS.
Well, with as much bull crap as we all have to put up with them, yeah. I mean,
no, but I mean, listen, this is one of those situations again that we're talking about where it is common sense that they should have had a safety vest on or whatever, but given the situations, who knows what I'm trying to find the article here that Herbert, what'd you send to my phone, Herbert, huh?
No, I sent it to your how I communicate with you on your Facebook thing.
Yeah, okay, it's not. Let me see, maybe I missed it right there. Because I'm looking at yours here. I have questions and answers on YouTube. Okay, that's a link. Oh, I didn't realize it was a link. Okay.
There's a bunch of different things I sent you.
Well, the only thing I have is the weather maps, and then it goes to that question and answers on YouTube. It says, who are these ladies? It popped up on my screen.
Yep, it's way after that.
Yeah, that's all I got. That's the last message I got.
Yeah, there's others.
Okay, well, they're not here. I do not have them. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, swimming alone, I don't know what were you saying, Herbert? What was the reason? What were they saying the reasonings behind the drownings were? Like, what were the parents doing? What were they not doing? What was happening there?
Bottom line, negligence on the part of the parents.
The what?
Negligence on the part of the parents, not being watchful of the little kids.
Right. No, I agree with that 1,000%. But now, is that so if that took place, is that a reason for them to go in and take CPS and remove them for the rest of their lives?
I can't answer that question. I can't answer that question because the kid drowned is dead. But what about the other children? That's the real question. The question is, what about the other children of the family? Should CPS be involved with them?
That's what I just asked you. Do you think that that incident is worthy of them going in now and harassing that family and taking those children from that family?
I just say this: they just put themselves on the radar.
So you can't answer that question. You can't say yes or no.
No, I'm answering it by saying that they put themselves on the radar. So the child's passed away because of drowning. They have other children. CPS is now on the radar. Well, they're on the radar with CPS now because of what happened to the one child. Now, will they interfere with the other children? Possibly no. Maybe so. Maybe they'll investigate to find out what else is going on with the family. But they invited CPS into their home.
Yeah, I would say that. Vinny, what's your thoughts? Do you believe that that's enough for CPS to come in and now harass and, ruin the rest of this family?
Yeah, oh yeah. On the grounds of they were negligent and wasn't watching children in the pool, when we know better that if kids are in a pool or in a lake, we're to keep our eyes focused on them and not steer away from what we're doing, and not having any kind of preventative life-saving things in the pool. I mean, they're going to look at that and go, you're not doing your parenting the right way.
Okay, Vinny, I gotta interject. They were not in the pool.
Where were they?
They were out walking around. They got loose from the parents and went into the pool. The parent didn't even know they were in the pool.
Wow.
Okay, so the toddler broke away, so they didn't even realize that they were supposed to be paying attention.
It wasn't even a toddler. I think it was. If I'll go off the show. I'll send it to Vinny. He can see it, and I'll send it to him because I know I sent it out. But I can read it
right now. It's not here unless you sent it into a different
10-year-old.
Who are these ladies?
5-year-old or a 10-year-old or something like that.
Yeah, Brooke's been there talking. Yeah.
Hey, Brooke, I sent you the link. FYI. Yeah. So, Vinny, so you think that in this situation, that a parent deserves to go and get the scrutiny of CPS now? Like that's not enough? You don't think life didn't teach them a lesson enough?
Them not paying attention and the kid escaping is a little bit different. I feel that the parents should maybe look into some parenting classes.
Okay, but what if you're sitting at a party? So let's put this scenario out there. You're at a 4th of July party. Your kids are playing with the other kids. I mean, this scenario isn't far-fetched. Your kids are all playing with all the other neighborhood kids. They're all in the yard with you. They're all this, they're all that. They go around to the front yard where maybe they have the kids section or whatever. The kid drowns in a pool. That comes back on the parents now? How does that work? Do you think the parents deserve to have that scrutiny and CPS infiltrate their life?
No. That shouldn't come back on the parents because they were hanging with the other kids. The other kids were responsible enough to be watching.
Well, I mean,
so,
kids on kids.
So yes. The other kids are the same age and they should be responsible for that child drowning?
They should be able to notify a parent that, something is wrong.
Right.
I have to send
Especially
you the
at 10 years old. I mean,
Vinny, I'll send you the
my kid. Yeah. My kids at 10 years old could tell me if there was something wrong.
You got to read the article. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't know that Darren didn't receive it. I thought he did.
So I mean, the thing is at what point is your kid supposed to be responsible for themselves too? At what age is a child? See, these are all things that need to be addressed so that CPS doesn't.
I believe the age is 18. Am I correct to say the age is 18 years old?
No, because they can watch them. They can watch themselves at the age of 10, 11, and 12.
Right, they could be a babysitter, right? I believe at 13, I think, or 12.
Well, there's a thing about babysitting also, that if a child is required to do the majority of parenting for their younger siblings, it could lead to child neglect charges with CPS.
Right.
A child required to parent their siblings full time is not able to grow and be normal child. They are
Right.
also often under a lot of stress that can cause physical and mental health problems.
Yeah.
I get that.
That's a child who's a sibling of younger children,
Yep.
and CPS frowns upon that.
Right.
They frown upon a lot of stuff, but
Yeah,
the
they
stuff I
do.
just
They
sent
do.
Darren is even more frowned upon.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you got to either change their policies and procedures and how they view things, or if you can't make that change, you got to play ball with them. If they
Right.
say that 2 strikes is out, then that's what it is. Unless you can make it 3 strikes or 4 strikes.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, the way I see it is these parents have now learned a very, very, very valuable life lesson, right? Like, I mean, they've just been put up on they lost their child. So first of all, we know that they'll never not pay attention to the remaining children. You would hope. But secondly, they got caught in a moment. Now, that doesn't mean that if they neglect or they punish their kids or abuse their kids on a daily basis to the degree that it's so severe that there's going to be clear and concise information, and to find them guilty of child abuse and neglect, right? Like, Benny, how many times you go to a party and, your kids are hanging out there and like, Dad, we're going to go play with Susie and Ed. And okay, guys, go off, have fun, like whatever. They go off, they have fun, they're running up and down the road because you just feel like everybody in that particular area now has become an eye set for your kids, right? Like that's probably like the mindset that you have, is that everybody is getting together to pay attention to our children.
Especially when it's a bunch of adults with the kids. Yep, that's true.
We're fine because I think that if your kids are out playing with my kids and we're all now involved in looking at these kids to make sure they're safe. But then something happens, okay, bad move, unfortunate for sure. Feel so bad for those parents. I don't feel that they deserve any more punishment than what they got. To
lose a child is quite it takes a toll on a person. Yeah.
Of course it does. Absolutely. I mean,
I agree.
That's it.
I agree that one child will take, a toll on that parent. And if there's younger siblings involved, will it take a toll like a 10-year-old child? One of them was 10 anyway. And now you have a 6 and a 7 and maybe 8.
It will affect the 10-year-old.
No, the 10-year-old is deceased. But I'm saying there's an 8-year-old, 7-year-old, and maybe a 6-year-old siblings.
Oh, good. Mandy's here. Yay, Mandy and Martin. All right. Mandy and Martin are in the house.
I would say it would take effect on them. I agree.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a psychological effect on the siblings, yeah. But the question
emotional.
Yeah, but
you got to put that in there.
But the question is, should CPS get involved? That's the question.
No.
Andy, Martin, did you guys hear what we were talking about? You guys hear us? Or they're looking, or they're very confused. Are they stuck? Mandy, Martin.
I think they froze.
Yeah, it looks like they're jammed. Or is that just a picture of them? Let's see if I can do it. Ready? Hey, yo, guys, you hear us?
There we go. They're moving.
Yeah, we see some movement. Hello.
Can you send them a text? Can you send them a text?
See, here they come. They'll come through. Hey, anyway, so until maybe they're out. Mr. Ball had sent me a little interview, guys, to that might have some clarification for you about his intentions and what he had to I don't know. Let me see where it is here. Where it is.
I was actually discussing him today on my live on TikTok with
Oh, good.
a former person that used to come on the show. Matter of fact,
Oh, nice. Very good.
she's like, you know, Darren. I was like, yeah, I'm on the show with him every night.
You can only imagine who it was.
Oh, he goes by. Let me pull her up real quick.
Let me see. Where am I? What am I looking for? Dennis.
Hey, Darren, did you receive the text that I sent you regarding the state that has the highest incidence with CPS?
Nope, I did not. Only thing I
You
have,
didn't get-
Herbert, is questions and answers on CPS and who are these ladies. Now, if you're sending it to one of my phone numbers, then you didn't send it to the 1134. And
No,
like
I
you
didn't
said,
send it to a phone number. I sent it to that thing that we talk on the Facebook. You know, what do you call it? Messengers.
Yeah, I don't have it here.
Her name on TikTok is perfectly flawed.
Perfectly flawed.
Yep. Hold on, I'll bring up her picture.
While he's bringing a picture up, Maine is #1 in the nation.
Yeah, we told you that by twice. That's why we've always been saying. We keep saying that Maine leads the nation in abuse and neglect.
Yep, it does.
Not only by a little bit, by twice the amount. What is the amount? 9,500. I mean, 9.5 kids per thousand. And Maine is at 18.
I sent the numbers. Hey, Vinny, I'll send numbers to you.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Remember, nothing's coming through here at all.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, 'cause
So I'll start sending things to Vinny.
Well, that's good. You guys can have your own little show. How's that?
No. I'm gonna send it to Vinny so Vinny can then share it with you.
Well, I just don't understand why it wouldn't work.
I don't. That's my point. Since yours is not working, I will send it to Vinny so Vinny can share it with you.
All right, that's good. I don't mind. All right, here's the stuff from Dennis here. Let's see what he says here. All right, here we go. Yesterday we had Dennis Ball on, and here we go. We can see what he has to say about everything. Where is it here? Facebook. Must be Facebook, right? Yes, perfect. Let's take this up. All right, here we go. Oh, maybe it's just the thing. Oh, it's just the commercial. Very good. That's nice. All right. Well, perfect. So there we go. Open change. Change will come. That's for Mr. Ball. I made him some T-shirts, Vinny, and some graphics.
Nice.
You know what? I made him this one that says "It's about time we got balls in the White House." Because his name's in it.
Yeah. Well, did you? I don't know if you've seen, but there's a lady that's rallying in Tennessee right now against
Connie?
CPS.
Yeah, Connie. She's on our show. She's on our show. She's been around. Connie's been around for 20 plus years.
Yeah, she's been rallying out there heavily.
She has been her whole life, man. That's her deal. You never watched our shows when she was on? We used to have we used to have Connie Fridays here.
Oh, now we
Is
got
that
Amy in
the is that the thing I sent you, Vinny? I said, who are these 3 ladies?
No.
There was something I sent you, Vinny, of a show of 3 ladies. Did you get that?
Yeah, I did get that.
What was that show about? It was called Abolish CPS. Darren, you said you received that. Who are those people, Darren? I sent it to you too.
If I just asked me who the 3 people were, it doesn't give me a link or anything. Hey guys, can you hear us yet? Martine, Andy, can you guys hear us? Oh, they froze again.
Technical difficulties.
Let me see if I can reach them on Messenger. I'm going to step out of here for a second. You guys keep talking, keep people entertained. I'm going to call them on Messenger soon.
All right. So I found some things today that a friend of mine sent. I sent them to Darren, and it kind of blows my mind to see some of this. It says government employees trafficking children in Maine. Maine is rated among the worst in the country for child sex trafficking.
Yeah.
And then it pulls up like the police officers involved, FBI chief in Augusta who raped a 10-year-old girl for over a year, former Assistant Attorney General James Cameron, recently arrested for trading in child rape and torture, aka child porn. Maine State Police Chief Andrew Demers, guilty of raping his own 4-year-old granddaughter. They are all the considered important people and productive members of the community. Maine judges, police, and prosecutors protect them. District Attorney Stephanie Anderson said of Demers, Colin Demers was my hero.
Huh. Wow. That's awful.
Tell me how sick and twisted and corrupt that is.
That's awful. Absolutely awful.
And there's more. I mean, under Governor Paul LePage, Maine established a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to create a public record of what Child Protective Services did and continue to do to Native American children, but there has been no justice, no prosecution, no accountability. Senior child protection staffers.
That's a shame. It seems like there should be some kind of a governing board outside of Maine that should go in and investigate what's going on with the system in Maine.
Oh, and there should, but we have an oversight committee, and they don't even do their job.
But the oversight committee is in Maine, right? It's part of Maine?
Yeah. It's basically in the same office as the CPS.
No, outside of Maine. Like, from maybe Washington, D.C.?
Our governor, she's very secretive.
No, that's my point, Vinny. There should be somebody outside.
They're supposed to be checked by. They're supposed to be checked by an overseer unit. By I think it's every 2 years they're supposed to report.
Who's the oversight? Who's the oversight of unit? Where are they at?
They're out of Washington D.C. Just like you had said. I think there's a federal oversight committee that sees to it. That, but as far as what they monitor, I don't know. Because the states are responsible for, and I think we talked about that with Mr. Ball yesterday, or wasn't that the states are going to put in whatever they want to put into those numbers. So we're not really going to get the truth. You know what I mean? They're going to only put numbers in that work with, unless there's an audit. I'm going to check this up here. Federal oversight. I mean, the thing is that they have to be watched for their funding. Supposedly, they're supposed to be oversought for their funding. So, and then, like I said, there's a certain amount of time that they're supposed to be checked on every couple of years. I believe they do an audit. Or CPS. Let's see. What does this come up with? United States House Committee on Oversight, Government Operations and Federal Workforce. Reprocess single use. Okay. Fourth and final annual reports to Congress.
I mean, I could try to get my friend Crystal on the show so she could explain her story. With the amount of stuff going on in her case, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe for a day this week, get her on, pull her in. Outlines the Republicans return to committee. All right, let's look right here.
Let me.
Oversight and accountability.
She's on right now, so I'm gonna try to message her.
Can she come on now?
I'm gonna see if she can.
Herbert.
I'm sorry, say that again.
It's what he just said.
No, you said maybe sometime this week. So I said, can she come on today?
Right, and then he said he
I
was.
just sent her. Yeah, I just sent her the link.
Okay.
Reports. Let's see here. Reports. All right. Search. Hey, you can blow the whistle here. Search. Child Protective Services. Let's see. No posts on that, so it doesn't come up as CPS. DHHS. Nothing there. Well, what does this come up on? This oversight, Committee on Oversight and Accountability. Well, what the hell did they come up with for? Biden and family investigation, COVID. Are they back? I've already.
I'm gonna see if I can find it too.
Back here. The oversight. You guys can continue the conversation. You don't have to just, sit there in silence. Well,
It would be. I think it shows up under right here. Government Oversight Committee talks improvement to child welfare.
Yeah, where does that say that the committee is about? What does it say? That's the name of the committee.
I can click on it and tell you.
Because I'm at the government site for Committee on Oversight and Accountability.
It says the members of the Committee Oversight Committee reconvene Friday to discuss what critical components must be focused on when improving Maine's child welfare system. Some investigations in the reports outline how some children were left in unsafe and sometimes violent situation months after it was determined they should be removed. So it's basically according to this, it's Senator Jeff Timberlake.
That's okay. So that's the main. So that's the main oversight committee.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I've written to them, and Timberlake's pretty quick to get back to you. Bill Diamond will not. And then I met Ned. What the heck was that guy's name? Ned. His first name's Ned. He was the speaker of the committee. He had a weird last name.
They have Bill Diamond, Craig Hickman. They're the only ones I see.
What the hell was it? Ned Claxton? Is that his name? Yeah. Ned Claxton. He used to be the speaker for the House, I believe, or the Senate, and he was also on there. He stopped by and talked to my wife and I actually one day when we were outside of the State House. So he had stopped by and he said he'd see what he could do, but we know what that means.
Yeah, it says, well, this one was last published January 5th, 2024.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's at least recent. That's by Timberlake. Yeah. But that's that one that you just sent me, right? That new report that you just sent me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have that one. Signed by federal. government.
I'm not seeing any other thing underneath that.
CPS slash DHHS. All right, let's try that. Oversight of Child Protective Services. There we go. That's Office of the Inspector General. Okay. Fraud is and to improving the efficiency of HHS. Major progress in MD. Okay. About the administration for children and families. HHS.gov. Here we go. Organization. Office of Administration for Children and Families. Okay, so state and tribal information services, resources, data and statistics. Let's take a look at that. While we're here, so I'm going to guess that the Office of the Inspector General is where we're going to want to go to make complaints and where you want to see an argument towards DHHS. That's going to be my guess. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Let me keep looking.
I don't know what this is, but I just found it. Oh, there's Brooke. I'll let her in.
Yeah. Hello, Brooke.
Hey, Brooke.
Hi, can you see me? Hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I can't see you guys or hear you. Or I can hear you, but I can't see you. That's okay.
You're not missing much.
They actually have I'll forward this to you, Darren. I just found this. So this might be interesting to you.
The federal one?
No, it's their rules and regulations.
Okay.
Division of Licensing and Certifications.
Oh yeah, for the boards for the caseworkers.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a good place if you guys want to make any sort of complaints about your caseworkers. Go to the Board of Licensure, and that's where it starts. And then you can also look up anybody else who's supposed to be licensed. Like if you have a psychologist that was in there, look up their licensing. Use that. People that were supposed to give you drug and alcohol training, those people should, like if you got to make a complaint against them, then you go to the licensure board. Like all of those things, go after those certificates. Take these people down a notch. That's important.
One of the things that I want to get changed in the state of Minnesota is the first caseworker or whatever that comes to your house, or the person that comes to do the investigation in the state of Minnesota, they do not have to be licensed. They can Joe Blow off the street that comes and does it.
Here you go, Darren. I just found it. I sent it to you.
Thank you very much.
So
wait a minute, Brooke. You're saying that they just Joe Blow can come in and take your kids? They don't have to have any of this.
Yep. They don't have to be licensed in the state of Minnesota.
That's horrid,
isn't it? And
you can just have someone running around playing with the God badge.
They're not. You think about it. They're not educated in diversity, in disability, and it's just anybody that can walk up to a door and knock on a door. Basically, it's who they hired.
Brooke, I have a question. I have a question for you. The person, CPS person that comes up to take the kid, don't they have to have a court order to take the kid?
Or there's exigent circumstances. They can do it without a court order then, but they have to have a police officer with.
Well, in a situation where the parents are being arrested and from Walmart's and they have kids and the parent says they have nobody to give the kids to, then I can see where CPS will be called without a judge. But in cases where, if I'm correct, CPS is going to pick up a kid, don't they have to have a court order?
Well, what's supposed to happen in theory is they come and they investigate. So they're supposed to be there on investigation terms. They shouldn't be showing up to your house unless like they know for a fact that there's guns laying on the table, or they have to go get an order from the judge. It might take a couple hours or something if they do find something, unless it's like I said, extended circumstances where if the child was left in your care and within the next hour it would die, then they can take it without having to go get a court order.
Oh, okay. That would make sense.
Yep.
Did you hear what we were talking about earlier, Brooke, by chance, about the kids swimming in the pool?
Yeah, what was that about?
So Herbert said that there's like a nationwide kids, in pools and stuff, that were passing away because of certain situations. Well, what I said was this: is that a reason? Yeah, that's when you had made that comment. But okay, so you're at a party, you're at a 4th of July party. All the kids are playing. Your kids are playing with Joe's kids, and all these kids are off playing. So you kind of assume that everybody's watching the kids, right? So this shouldn't happen. There should always be an adult posted at some area, right, where the kids are. Right. Well, that doesn't happen, and then this situation that happens. Poor child drowns. Now, is that enough to take away the rest of the kids in the family and then torture these parents that just lost their kid fatally? Or do you just let them learn that life lesson and then move on? It's a terrible way to learn a lesson. It's a terrible way for any of that. But in fact, it did happen to some set of parents.
It would depend, in my opinion, like if there was alcohol and drugs going on. Was this an adult party, or was this like a cousin's family get together type party? How old was the child?
Well, the one I was referring to was 10 years old. They come in all different ages. We've had all types of drownings just between Nevada and Arizona.
Yep, my neighbor, he just lost his son, and he was 15.
Oh.
Yep.
He passed away, right? Not to CPS?
Yep. No, he passed away. But they have other children too, and I don't know. I'll have to ask him if CPS ever got a hold of him after.
Well, the 15-year-old that passed away, was that child sick?
No. Actually, I didn't. Nobody really knows what happened, but he went, and we have this like park, like a county park that we go to in the summer, and we jump off this big rock. It's called Red Rock Ridge. Well, this kid went out, and it was May. So I think personally, like, the kid went to go jump off the rock, and it was May. Up in Minnesota, it's like still 50 degrees here, I think when he hit the water, he went into shock and passed that way is what happened. No. Right. It was still cold out. I mean.
Oh, well, sorry for them. Sorry for their family.
I know, I felt so bad when I heard that.
Yeah.
Wait till you see them 3 links that I just sent you.
Oh, yeah. Let me take it. I was looking at this. 3 links. Give me 3 links here. Give me 3 links.
Did you get Vinny's 3 links?
I don't know. I'm going to look. Vinny's 3 links. So, Brooke, you got anything else? You got any other information for us you'd like to share?
Hell, I got a link I'd like to share.
Oh, Jesus.
I think or can I share the screen, or like?
Yeah, if you have access to it, then please do.
How do I do that?
Do you have access to it?
I don't know. Presentations?
Yeah, that's where it would be.
Okay. Yeah, let me see if I can figure this out here a second.
Yeah, I think it should be right there then, in this case.
Okay.
Do you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. And then there should be a button somewhere that you got to push to share the screen.
Yep. Let me see if I can find the right video here. I might have to slide off a second and download.
Yeah. No worries.
I'm gonna do that quick so you can. Because this is a very good video that everybody should see. Like, share it with everybody. So, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
After these messages, Brooke will be right back.
Hey, Mandy.
Mandy, why aren't you in the show, Mandy? Oh Lord. Wow, that's some good stuff coming up. What are we doing here? Hey guys, so sorry, Mandy says. Mandy, why are you and Martin not here with us discussing things? I've been waiting all day. Oh, she said she's had the flu. Okay, there we go. More like fluke. Let's see here. Where's Vinny?
It's on your Facebook.
Yeah, I'm here. All right, Brooke's back. Is Brooke back, or was that me watching on the other thing? Oh, I see. It's on the YouTube. It's on the Facebook. That's funny. You know, because we're on Facebook Live right now.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we're always on Facebook Live every night, dude.
Let me go check that out.
What is it? You're on it. You must initiate it. Oh, okay. Here we go. Dennis wants to come in for a minute too. Cool.
Well, it gives me a chance to actually get the link and share it out there to mine.
Yep. Well, and if you just go to YouTube, dude, the link's right there too.
Yeah.
The live link. That's we're on that. We're on Twitch. We're on we were on X, but then they made X so you have to be a premium member. So we don't do X anymore. I'd like to get on Donald Trump's Truth Network there. I forget the name of it. But I was looking into that. I also signed us up for a community. You know what? That's the other thing too. Check out the community on YouTube. We have a whole community right there on YouTube. It's pretty cool. You know, it has some pictures. It's got some different things than you'd see here on the show. Some different graphics. It's got some user polls. It's got, but it's a nice little spot to go ahead and look and try to network with some people if we can get some people into the community. So make sure you guys check that out on our YouTube channel. The YouTube community. Also on there, I have my podcast. That's Our Daughter, the one that tells the story of my life with my fight against CPS, and we've been in a little bit of a idle for a little while now, but we have the first 2 seasons up there, so you guys can check those out on YouTube too. That's Our Daughter. It's just me narrating, and it's me telling the story of what went down and how it happened and so on. So if you guys got the time, that would be cool to check that stuff out.
Sure.
Or if you guys did. It's all edited in music soundtrack. I don't think there's any of them over 38 minutes. But yeah, check that out too. And then, like I said, here we are right next to Dennis just messaged me. You need to initiate that. Pretty cool. Mandy and Martin. All right, Mandy and Martin are trying to come in again. Cool. Let's see what we got here. All right. Let's be two. Mandy. There's so many. No, I don't see him. I don't know. Does anybody out there have any questions that's watching the show with us? Does anybody out there think that, or tell us your opinion on, if it's a hot day, your kid's drowning in the pool on accident, you're with your friends, who takes fault for that? Who is responsible for this? Is it the parents? Is it the children? Is it the people's house? Who do you guys feel that it's the problem is lies? The problem lies with, the parents, the brother and sister who was watching them, the neighbors whose kids they were playing with. Whose fault is it if all the systems break down in safety for kids? The ultimate at the end of the day choice. That's a hell of a question right there, but it's a good one. I get. It sounds good to me. Let's see. All right. Well, I don't know what to do here. Yeah, Vinny, you didn't know anything about Connie Reguli?
No.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
No, I happened to come across her today when I was scrolling my TikTok, and I was like, "Well, I'm gonna watch this and see what's going on." And
Yeah,
oh yeah,
Tony's she was on.
she's a badass woman right there.
She sure is. She was on our show every Friday. It was Connie Fridays. And then the rain season came, and then that went that. Now she's out tramping around Washington D.C. trying to get bills passed. She runs the Family Forward Project,
Yeah, yep.
I believe. Yeah, that's a good one. You guys should check that out. I think it's Family. I think I have those up still. The tasks here, I mean the addresses.
So on the upside, my counselor today agreed to every other week now for sessions. She said that she's very impressed with me.
Very nice.
So that's a plus on my side, I guess.
Yeah, good for you, man. Man, that's awesome. That is really awesome, man. You're doing a good job. What's the what does that say? Oh, do you come in?
Mandy commented down there.
Oh, she wants to know what happened with Connie. What did you see? What you read about?
Well, they're going after the Department of Health and Human Services. She was saying that there's a lot of neglect done by the department, and she's got the proof of it all.
Yep, she sure does.
So now they're under investigation.
Who is Connie and Family Forward?
No, the department in Tennessee.
Good. All right, Brooke's back. Brooke? Oh, we can't hear you, Brooke.
Okay.
There you are.
Let me go back outside where I get signal, and then I'll share that.
No, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Good deal. You can. Good.
Yes.
We can hear you.
And now we'll be able to hear her better, Herbert.
Yep. Let's see. Okay, so presentations. I gotta figure out how to run this thing.
Right. It's pushing buttons, that's all.
Yep, that's what I do. We'll figure it out.
Very nice.
Downloads. Maybe. No.
You should be able to go right to local. You see local there? You gotta
Local?
hit more. Yeah, hit more when you go. It shows you the choices.
Yep.
And you can see it says more or something like that. So hit that and you'll see local. And that'll show you anything off your computer.
Oops. No, not that way. Oh, dang it. I hit more. Let's see. Back. Presentations. Oh, now I lost it.
Yeah, so go to, I'm looking at it right here. So go to show more.
You go to menu and then presentations.
So if you hit.
I'm on an iPhone. Does that matter?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're on an iPhone. So share screen. So mine has, you don't have the, right at the bottom, the little computer screen thing?
Computer screen thing.
It's with the upper arrow.
He may have the 3 dots.
I got the 3 dots. Yep.
Try that.
Go to 3 dots, yeah.
And go to
it says
share screen.
extra camera, presentations, or settings.
Is there another one like a more or anything?
No. What's extra camera?
No, not an extra camera. That's putting another camera in.
Son of a monkey's uncle. Let's see.
Andy, that question is the OIG, Office of the Inspector General.
Connie is.
Okay.
Mandy. Connie is. She's got a thing out about them on TikTok that I watched today.
Yeah, Connie's writing her. She's suing them back now for everything that terrible that they did to her. She was telling me the other day when I was talking to her that her response to her lawsuit is 72 pages. So she's ready. She's loaded for it. You know that she used to be a judge, Vinny, and all kinds of stuff. She lost her seat as a lawyer. They caused her to lose her seat as a lawyer. She went to jail. She did
Right.
all kinds of stuff.
She went
The
to
woman's
prison,
a
didn't she?
trooper.
She went to prison, didn't she?
Yeah,
Not
she sure
jail.
did.
Right.
So she's a trooper, that Connie. A lot of people have mixed feelings about her, though.
I kind of do. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people have the kind of do about her. But if you look at anybody hard enough and long enough and valiantly enough, you're gonna find something you don't like about them.
Right.
If it's that much in your face, then whoa.
Right.
But
right.
if it's small and
I mean, you look at my case, and I'm finding stuff left and right lately.
Oh yeah.
This one. No.
On you?
I'm slowly pulling my record from the Katahdin report, and I'm supposed to go. I don't know if it's this week or next week. I'm supposed to go up to CPS and pull the rest of my record, and once I do, I'll have everything.
Right, and you were going to pull the new ones there too. Don't forget.
Yep.
Yeah, don't forget those. They're very important.
I wish I could just go on. Let's see. Wish I could just go on YouTube and show you.
Yeah, I'm drinking one.
I don't know. I don't know how to do it.
Oh, do you have it? Can you send it to me so I can put it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I knew it when you told me to say that ridiculous
Let's see. Is Dennis in here yet? Because Dennis said he was going to come along.
I don't see him. I only see the four of us.
Well, if we do that, I guess they're.
But we do got 5 viewers, so I mean, there's tons of people here.
Yeah, we got people. Hey guys, how are you tonight? Make sure you like and share and all that good stuff, please and thank you. We're talking CPS. We're just kind of rambling about CPS right now, about different things. But if you guys have a question or a comment or anything you'd like to have addressed, right there is the comments. So hop on in, comment, and we'll try to get you an answer best we can. Yeah.
I think that once you look at that federal oversight thing from the Washington D.C., you'll understand a little bit more.
Understand a little bit more about what?
About what their committee actually is supposed to be doing.
Yes. Where'd you send it?
Your Facebook, the CPS page.
Facebook.
I sent you 3 different ones.
Okay. Well, 3 different ones.
Fill in the blank with a controversial change. One of the people who become a woman in the history book. There's lots of videos. Oh
website.
Yeah.
There we go. Oversight Committee mission statement.
They do that with everyone, though, Mandy.
Right.
You speak up against them, and then they hate you for it, and they put you in jail.
That's committee. Okay, I see this, but did they see the DHHS? Where's the? I'm looking at your link, Benny, but I can't see where this one has the DHHS in it. Rules and regulations of the department. Where does it go? Oversight committee mission statements. All it goes to.
Welcome back, Brooke.
Okay.
That's all it basically states is, their whatever. I sent you 3 different ones though.
Yeah.
So it should be the first one that I sent you.
Okay, let me go to here.
I think every single parent, when they first have an encounter with a social worker, should see this video. This is what I went by on my 3rd case.
Where did you, Brooke? Did you send it to my phone?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, let me go there.
Through text message.
Yep. Last 2 or something. So it's the first. Which one do I want to play first?
The first one I sent you, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it should be the 6th one I sent you, or the first one I sent you. There's 6 altogether.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you want me to play the first one first?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do this.
Oh yeah, our buddy there.
This is that Dwight.
Yeah, Mr.
What he says in this video, every freaking parent needs to hear.
Yeah,
this video.
Dwight.
He lays it black and white.
Serious video defense pro se help kit. I hope you enjoy the content and allows you to better understand your rights and options while dealing with and involved with CPS. In case this is your first time tuning in and you don't know who I am, after a 22-month battle, I successfully defeated Dakota County Social Services in Minnesota pro se and had my children returned home for me. Although filled with anguish, to say the least, it was an educational experience and I learned a lot. And what this video series is doing is passing along the benefit of my knowledge, my research, the motions I file, things of that nature, and especially the lessons learned the hard way, while cross-referencing the Minnesota state statutes, case law, which is readily available on the internet and Google Scholar. One of the disclaimers I have to make, although I'm very learned and successful in the law, I am not an attorney. I'm not licensed to practice law, nor am I providing legal services. I have to put that disclaimer in there. But I recommend for you to seek out legal counsel if you can and hire your own attorney. I have a section here on working with your attorney, which is very important. I show you how to get the most out of your attorney and what the American Bar Association requirements are as it relates to your attorney representing you, whether it's a public defender or a private attorney. And these are all the things they don't want you to know. And so I'm giving you that information also to help you along so that you won't be misinformed or misguided like I was by my attorney's legal strategy, which you can really do nothing about, their incompetence and with some and or their greed. So there are some good attorneys out there, but you have to interview them and look at their track record and see if they are exactly who they claim to be. No matter what the attorney is costing you, or even if the attorney is free. Once they are aware that you know what their requirements are, they treat you slightly differently. What you have to remember is that you're doing this pro se. This video series is for educational purposes only, so I will go over the beginning, the middle, and the end in the entire series. There's going to be a lot of work and reading in this for you, but you're doing it for your family, which is the most important thing there is. You have to learn and understand how to create your own filings, when to file a motion, when the judge or social services or anyone is not telling you the truth. But remember, pro se means you're doing this for yourself, and so you need to really understand this, and you can't go to court and say, well, I read this, or I heard this, or I saw this. This is why I'm giving you the state statutes and everything else, because you have to understand, because you have to do this for yourself. You're not allowed to go in and say someone else did it, because if you do that without cross-referencing in yourself, well, then the court's going to take it that that's what you wanted to do, because that's what you said to the court. So remember, don't take anything that is said to you for granted. Always make someone give you case law or a state statute or something to cross-reference, and that includes the judges, the social workers, guardian ad litems, or anyone else. So this series, which is probably something I get the most questions on in our parent forum, is should you be a cooperative parent or uncooperative? And that's when CPS says, oh, you're being uncooperative. Well, that's the key question. And what most people don't realize is that there is a time to be.
This is perfect. Do you be cooperative or uncooperative? Well, the way he explains it is
Right. So here's the thing. Let's find out right now. What do you think, Brooke? What's your thoughts on this? Cooperative or uncooperative?
well. In my first case, I was 100% cooperative. Like I wanted to hurry up, get it over with, jump through their hoops, and get it closed. But then after them hounding me on a second case and a third case, the third case, I'm like, wait a minute. And I listened to this video, and it made perfect sense. He says, no,
Right.
they have to prove their allegations. You do not have to help prove to them,
Right.
that you're innocent.
Right.
If he gets into it, it's great.
Oh no, we're gonna continue it. But go ahead, Vinny. I just wanted to get everybody's thoughts before we went into this.
I
Vinny,
say
what
no.
do you say?
I'm not cooperative with them whatsoever.
Unless you
Right.
do feel you need services, like if you do need, drug rehabilitation or,
See, but that's the whole funny part about all of this, is that I have set up my own counseling, my own drug test, my own case management, and done my own parenting classes all by myself without the help of CPS.
right.
So that's good. It's real good, man. I was not uncooperative, but I spoke out against them, and then they considered that uncooperative, and then they slammed the door on my face. So
You shouldn't have been looked down upon for that. You don't have to be cooperative. You don't have to sign nothing. You don't have to tell them nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Your best
But
to say nothing.
Right, like Herbert says, if we knew better, we would do better. All right, let's play.
Right.
Let's get a little more of this stuff from Mr. Mitchell. Here we go.
Cooperative and a time not to be cooperative. And that first 60-day time period is a time not to be cooperative with CPS. The only thing you should be cooperative with CPS on during that first 60 days time period is visitation. You want to see your children, so you have to be cooperative in that sense, but they cannot use your children against you. They cannot blackmail you and say, well, if you don't do this, we're not going to allow you to see your children. That's illegal and against the law, and I'm going to reference state statutes as we go through this session right here.
Right.
So the definition of uncooperative by Merriam-Webster, by the dictionary in and of itself, means marked by an unwillingness or inability to work with others. It also means you're not willing to do what someone wants you to do or asks for, or in the case of us, it's not showing a desire to work with someone in a helpful way. So in CPS, when they call you uncooperative, they're saying, well, you're not willing to help me convict you. And I'm like, you're right, I am being uncooperative. It's your job to prove that I am an unfit parent, and it's my job as a defense to prove that I am. I'm not going to give you any help in proving your case. And that's what most people seem to forget. This is an adversarial relationship. Don't think that you can talk your way out of it. You can explain, if I just tell them I'm just such a great parent, or if I just show them, or if I just take drug tests, all you're doing is playing into their hands. You're giving them more evidence or whatever to say whatever it is they're going to say. If you don't do anything but prepare your defense and do your visitation plan as you're supposed to, well, then there's nothing that CPS can do as it relates to their allegations. Not unless you truly did do something with it, and that's a different story. Like if you broke your child's arm and it's evident, and your child says you broke their arm for no reason. Well, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that are victimized. There's about 7,000 new cases that happen in Minnesota that CPS investigate every year, and about 5,000 of them go through the court system without representation. And during that time, CPS tricks these people into, working on a case plan and cooperating. That's the operative word, cooperating, for CPS to do what it wants to do, when that's not the law. The law says that CPS must prove these things unless you voluntarily, agree or admit to these things and agree to work with them. But what CPS doesn't tell you is that they're required by law, within 60 days to prove that you did in fact abuse your child. And if you don't cooperate with them, well, then the onus is on them to get their own facts and make that case. So you're really just waiting for court. So Minnesota statute 260C 157, there's the investigation that CPS needs to go through. So that's their state statute saying that they have to go through and do their due diligence and investigate any allegation. So if someone calls and says, hey, so-and-so's beating their kids like crazy, well, CPS has to do a thorough investigation, whether it's false or not. And a lot of people do that now. They'll get mad at someone and they'll, call CPS on them. And that's like just a horrible thing to do, because these people really don't understand what they're doing or what they're putting these people through, especially if it's false allegations. Because CPS automatically believes it to be true if someone, calls in and states that in the first place. So if it comes within the court's jurisdiction, which is state statute 260C.101, well, then they're required to investigate it. So if CPS files a petition in juvenile court, the parents have a right to a trial within 60 days, where CPS has to try and take these allegations and prove them. A parent should always deny the allegations no matter what. And I feel CPS, if the onus is on CPS to prove that you're an unfit parent. So my recommendation, and this is my own opinion, everyone has one, you always put in the denial and let CPS come back and prove their case. If the parent and or a child over 10-year-old, it does have a right to legal counsel, so that you do have the right for a lawyer. Something else you should be aware of is that you must have a pre-trial. This is the scheduling of that first trial within 10 days of your admit deny. So you'll have the EPC hearing, 10 days later you'll have the admit deny, and 10 days after that there's a pre-trial where they must schedule your trial. And that's when people should just stop and start preparing your defense. Whatever else CPS has to do, let them do it. But in 60 days, a trial is supposed to commence to you. Look at the handout that goes along with this slide. I lay everything out for you. This is the order it should go. Boom, 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 according to the timeline. And until you get your trial, you do not have to cooperate. You do not have to do a case plan. The only thing you need to do is visit your child. That is mandated by law. CPS cannot stop that. They might take it down instead of 2 or 3 days a week to 1 day a week, but whatever it is, make sure you don't miss it and make sure you continue to do that, because that's what's supposed to happen. At your trial in 60 days, if the judge finds you guilty, meaning if CPS does present evidence and the judge finds you guilty and the child is adjudicated CHIPS and they keep that child in foster home, then and only then are you required to cooperate and participate in that case plan, because now you're ordered to do that. I have not been able to find any Minnesota state statute that says that a parent must cooperate with CPS, and I've been looking for a long time. As a matter of fact, what I find is just the opposite.
Right.
So, simply stated, you have the right not to self-incriminate yourself. It includes the right to remain silent. You are not required by law to help CPS prove its case at all. Don't let CPS tell you you are. Don't let CPS tell you you'll get your child back faster if you cooperate and help with them. As a matter of fact, it's the exact opposite. Every single parent I know that cooperates, it takes them longer. When we won the Amanda Weber case, we did not cooperate with CPS at all whatsoever, and she got her child back in 60 days because they could not prove their case. Never sign any release forms at all. The only release form, if you sign anything, is for visitation. You make sure that it's narrowly defined and it says this is for visitation only. And if they don't write it on the form, you write it on the form. This is for visitation only, this release. You can release information between the visitation supervisor and CPS and no one else, and that's it. So it is your right to prove that you're innocent in 60 days, and it's their CPS's right to try and prove, if they can, that you're guilty. So if you're uncooperative, it prevents CPS and the caseworkers from gathering enough information to substantiate the allegations against you. The caseworker will have to consult with the attorneys representing CPS, county attorney or whatever, and if they can't substantiate the allegations, well, the county attorney is not going to go to trial and try a case where he has no evidence. So if they have no evidence, they have no choice but to dismiss it. So CPS has taken your child or your children away from you. You're trying to get them back, not provide CPS with any aid in keeping your children any longer. So keep that in mind.
All right.
Under the Fourth Amendment, you are protected from unreasonable searches and seizures. Not only does the Fourth Amendment apply to CPS and what transpired in any of the civil cases, there are some exceptions. When I say some exceptions, like if someone calls 911 and says your child is dying, well, in that situation, CPS or the police are allowed to come into your house without a search warrant, because that's supposed to be exigent or an emergency situation. But outside of that, if they're asking to come in, just say, no, I'm sorry, unless you have a search warrant, you cannot come into my house, and leave it at that. You don't have to be rude or anything, but take this as, for what it's worth. If CPS is at your door, they already believe the allegations. They're there trying to collect and grab evidence against you. So,
right.
You don't have to do that. Never let CPS in your home without a search warrant. If anything, walk out on the front porch and talk to them. I mean, even as a private citizen, not dealing with CPS at all, if the police come to my house, or if anyone comes to my house, not just the police, I don't say come on into my house unless you're a friend and I invite you over for dinner. Whoever comes to my house, the plumber, whatever, I walk out on the front porch first. I verify their credentials. I talk to them. But you don't get into my house. That goes double for CPS or the police. Now, here is the biggest thing that I don't understand, parents, but they do it anyway. So I'm here to tell you this. CPS needs your consent to drug test you. They cannot drug test you unless you agree to a drug test. People, will you stop doing drug tests to try and prove your innocence to CPS? Don't let them say to you, well, if you were innocent, you take this drug test. Say, no. It's the other way around. You're saying I take drugs. Prove it. Well, you can't prove that a person takes drugs unless they consent to a drug test. That's the law. So now there's an exception to that one also. Say you're passed out on the street and they're trying to give you some emergency treatment, and they take a blood sample trying to figure out what's wrong, and they find out that you're full of drugs. Well, in that case, they already know because it was an emergency situation. Right. But that's not the norm, The norm is they cannot force you to take a drug test because they don't have the legal authority to do so. And don't let CPS tell you otherwise. They will notify you that if you don't take a drug test, it may go against you. Tell them fine. They're going to try and get you drug tested as soon as possible because they're trying to dig up anything they can on you. So within that first week or two, they're going to say like, I want you to take a drug test. You're like, I respectfully decline to take a drug test. I'm not taking a drug test. Write it up any way you want, but I'm not taking a drug test. There are certain states that do try and drug test every single person, but here again, they need your consent. They just can't take it. They will try and ask everybody, but the unwilling, unwitting, unknowledgeable parent is just going to be like, okay, that's just opening up a Pandora box. Even if you're clean, it's like, it's a matter of principle. And some people will say, well, if it's a matter of principle, it shouldn't matter. Well, that is your decision. I can't tell you what to do in that regard. I know that I'm not taking anything against my will. That's just me, So you have to decide what you want to do. I'm here to tell you that even if you take a drug test, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help your case at all. If anything, if what you want to do is prove that you're a clean, sober person, when you go to trial, you go to 2 independent labs, 2 hospitals, and you get 2 drug tests, and then you submit that as part of your evidence that you have no drugs, alcohol, and that you're a clean, sober person. So they can't try and use that allegation against you. You sort of are nipping that in the bud, but you only do that at trial. You don't have to do it before then. So at that 60-day trial, when you're doing your discovery and exchanging evidence, you're like, oh yeah, by the way, here's the test to show that I don't do drugs or alcohol or anything of that nature. Your children can be drug tested, and the reason they can be drug tested is because technically if they're in foster care and the state is trying to provide services, they have to understand your child's medical needs. So, they can get a court order to talk to the judge about your doctor about your child's medical condition and things of that nature, and they can do a blood test, but that's because they have to make sure that they're doing things safely in case your child has like a peanut allergy or something of that nature. There are millions of rules that govern tests and what can and can't be done for every different situation. I gave you 2 today. And you should know those rules as it pertains to your rights. But by and large, you don't ever have to consent to a drug test unless they already have evidence that you're a drug addict or So a lot of people say, well, what happens if I refuse to take a drug test? So if you refuse to take a drug test, the investigator will assume that you're using, because that's the way they think, and they will act accordingly. And when I say act accordingly, they're going to write up that you're uncooperative and you refuse to take the drug test, but that still doesn't give them hard facts or evidence to say that you were. The investigator may try and get a court order for you to take a drug test, but there has to be a valid reason, meaning they just can't go to the judge and say, I wanted to take a drug test, and the judge has to say, well, why? What are your grounds? You're taking away a person's constitutional right and liberty. So you can argue that case also. They just can't make you take one for no reason. And if a drug is saying that, the judge is telling you to say that, you could tell the judge, Your Honor, no, I'm not taking a drug test. I said, there's their job to prove at trial that I do drugs. And, you're taking away one of my liberty interests, and I'm not going to follow your order. Now, he might hold you in contempt or whatever, but if you're respectful and you tell him respectfully, say, I don't have to do that, and that's not the law, show me the state statute of the case, Your Honor, and then we can talk. Judges, will order things all the time that are illegal, and then they have to, backtrack later on when it goes to the appellate court and things of that nature. But even if a judge tells you got to take a drug test for no apparent reason and there's no facts surrounding it, you can respectfully decline. Don't, to take that. The investigator is going to say to you, oh, well, people who are clean never refuse to take a drug test. That's just an old trick that they use, I mean, well, if you have nothing to worry about, you take it. And I'm just like, I'm not. People have false tested because they're taking like an over-the-counter drug, or they'll take like an antihistamine or something of that nature that will give a false positive. So don't let that trick talk. And that's what I call it, convince you into taking a UA because you're like, I got nothing to hide. I have had people in our group who have tested positive, for something else, not actually an illegal drug. So don't do that. So if there are allegations of drug use, as I said before, and I'll say this again, go get your own samples from 2 independent labs, bring them to the court at your 60-day trial. Don't do a drug test before. Make sure it's a skin scraping or hair follicle test that you bring to the court. Make sure you take 2 with you, so that way that they can't say, well, you only did 1. This 1 could be false. If you have 2 tests from 2 different labs, then that's unrefuted evidence that you don't take drugs. What may happen if you do cooperate, as I said, is if you're accused of not supervising your child, or a worker asks you questions about like drugs or alcohol or pornography or whether you had an abortion, you don't have to answer those questions either. They call themselves being thorough in that what they're trying to do is that not only are they trying to screen out the original allocation, which it could just be a spanking on the behind, so they're not only trying to gain evidence for that, they're trying to gain evidence for anything in the CPS spectrum that they can use against you. So if you don't cooperate, when they ask you questions like, do you feed your kids every day? Yes, I feed my kids 3 times a day. What do you feed your kids? It doesn't matter what I feed my kids. I feed my kid a healthy meal 3 times a day. And just, leave it at that. No, I never leave my kids unsupervised. No, I don't do drugs. No, I don't do alcohol. No, I don't look at pornography. No, I've never had an abortion. Whatever they tell you is no, 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 no. They need to come and prove it. And I'm not, as I said, these are just my opinions. I'm not your lawyer, so your lawyer might tell you to do otherwise. It's up to you. The ultimate decision is yours, because your lawyer is supposed to listen to you also, in everything you say. Never let your lawyer tell you, well, you need to cooperate. No, you don't. Tell your lawyer, show me the law that says I need to cooperate. There isn't one. Social workers will screen the children, and they'll ask the children all these questions also. Do your parents do drugs? And, have your parents beat you? Do your parents send you to bed with no food? And so on and so forth. And they're allowed to do that. They're allowed to interview your children without you being around. They're allowed to ask your children all these questions. As I tell most parents, there's nothing you can do about it. Don't lose your mind. The parents are like, oh my God, there's nothing you can do. They still, have to prove their case in court. So keep that in mind. They're screening for all risk, not just what was called for. So when they start asking you all these questions, just answer them and just say no, 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 to whatever they're saying. Some people think, well, let me be honest and tell them everything. I'm like, your job is to defend yourself. Your job is to remain silent, especially if you don't have an attorney. And remain silent to your trial, and only at your trial then you have time, because that 60 days, it gives them a chance to try and collect evidence. It also gives you a chance to prepare. It gives you a chance to read, to understand your rights, look at the case law, to see what they can do, and to put together your trial preparation without messing things up. A lot of parents will open their mouths thinking they're doing the right thing, and all they've done is just made their case that much more difficult to win. So please keep in mind that it is better for you not to cooperate and to be silent and wait and hold everything for the for the trial. And so with that, there are many times that the original allegation cannot be corroborated. Meaning someone says you hit your child, CPS comes out, and they look at your child, and your child's fine. There's no bruises, there's no marks, but they're out there, so they're going to see if they could find something else. So they call themselves doing a thorough investigation. That is as it may be. I can't tell you, but if you come out, in my humble opinion, and investigate, for one thing, to be looking and digging and searching for other things, that's what they do. That's the law. That's why they're trained to do these things. I can't speak to why. I know they call themselves doing a thorough investigation. One of the things that they try and get people on is neglect. 84% of the people that are in CPS are for neglect, and neglect is so broad. That's why I tell parents not to cooperate and to be quiet. So if they come out for a spanking, they can come out and say, "Oh, neglect is dirty dishes in the sink." I've seen the CPS and write-ups. Oh, they had dirty diapers in the garbage, or the refrigerator didn't have enough food. Well, it was the end of the week, and husband was going food shopping, and whatever the case may be, they will use whatever they can to try and put together a case. So don't let them in your house. Don't talk to them. Neglect is the broadest case, and almost everything falls under neglect. Things that you think are just benign, that you wouldn't even think about, are in this neglect category. So if you don't let CPS into your home and you don't take a drug test, there's nothing CPS can do about that. Read the handout again. I laid it out in detail. If you refuse, you refuse. There's nothing they can do. They can tell the court you're being uncooperative, but that is your right. That's your constitutional right. They do have a right to see your children. So what I tell a lot of parents, if they want to see your children, just say, "Fine, I'll bring my children down to the CPS headquarters tomorrow. Let's make an appointment. That's the time. But you're not coming into my house to see my children. I'll bring them to your office tomorrow, and then you can see see my children and see that they're healthy and that they're okay." So that is one way to get around not letting in your house and not letting make drug tests, to make an appointment and go take your children down to the CPS headquarters and let them look at your children and say, "See, my children are okay. There's nothing wrong with my children." So what happens if you don't cooperate at all? You need to cooperate at visitation, as I said to you. But if you are completely uncooperative and you don't do anything, if you never see your child for visitation, that's a big problem. But if you don't let them in the home, or you don't let them talk to anyone, or you don't let them talk to your relative, that's going to throw up a red flag for them. But you really don't care about their red flag. As I said, this is adversarial. This is CPS against you and your family, and they're in there trying to mess with your family and your business. And guys, the only way you're getting in here is with a fight. And that's just the way it is. CPS will go away if they have nothing. They have no choice but to go away. If you're completely uncooperative, they can't prove their case. They go to the county attorney. They're like, "I got these allegations, but I got no proof to back up the allegations." Then the county attorney's gonna be like, "Well, you're gonna have to dismiss it. Close the petition out because I can't prove anything." But CPS will go away, but make sure that they don't come back again, because they're going to red flag that folder, and if they do come back again, then they're going to sit here and try and work double hard to prove the allegations the second time. So if you're really not hiding anything, you really shouldn't worry about it. I don't think they'll come back. But these are things that you as a parent need to do and understand and figure out what to do, because every case is different. I can't talk about every single scenario. This video and this handout is giving you the basics. Now, if you're
Let's stop it there. All right. Oh, what did you think there? What did you think? It's stuck.
Yeah,
So what's your thoughts on Dwight?
That's some heavy information, kind of like along the lines of what I've been doing all along.
Yeah, Dwight's been like he's like a pioneer in this stuff. He's been doing this. He was a worker at a factory. I talked to him at the beginning of my case. You know, he talked frequently. But he started with he worked as a car salesman or something along those lines. I don't remember exactly. But when they took his kids, he quit his job and he fought for his kids. And he won his kids back. But he also noticed and discovered how corrupt the state of Michigan was. Yeah, it's Michigan, right? Minnesota. Whatever city he was in. He found out, how hard it was and how much, and he thought too that he was the only person that this was happening to. He did not realize the size of the magnitude of this stuff.
Yeah,
It's crazy. But we're past
the only thing that I found he was vague on was about CPS talking to the children. He mentioned that you do not have to talk to CPS, but he did touch on CPS can talk to your children. How can you tell your children to shut up? You can't.
Right.
I wish he would have went more into that.
I do too. All right. Well, maybe tomorrow, Herbert, we'll play some more and maybe you'll get the answers that you need, Like what was, how so? I know you said you wanted more information about it, but specifically what? Herbert?
I didn't hear you.
I said, I know you're saying that you want more information on what he had said, but what specifically were you looking for? What type of answers?
How to handle your child when they're talking to CPS? When CPS is interviewing your child, what should you do or not do in terms of your child talking to CPS? He was vague on that.
Yeah, he was pretty vague on that. It is hard to control that because they make the children feel like they're trustworthy, and they're not.
Children
They're
are
not.
Children don't lie. They're gonna tell CPS whatever CPS asks them.
Except in my case, they're keeping my daughter silent because she knows that her sister is abusive. She knows that her sister is an alcoholic, and they're silencing her because she's cheating.
How old is your daughter?
She's 14.
I'm talking about an 8-year-old, a 7-year-old.
They're still silencing her, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying a 6, 7-year-old is going to tell CPS everything they know. They won't make things up. Children don't make things up.
Right. That's the facts. All right.
A 14-year-old and a 15-year-old, Vinny, they have a little more, I don't know, sense of bending information. Okay?
Yeah.
But a little child, they don't know how to bend information.
This is the truth. All right, Herbert, what do we got for last words today?
Last words, do not let CPS into your home. If CPS wants to see your children, make an appointment, take them down to the office. Do not agree to giving them blood tests.
Yes, very good. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one, Herbert. I like that. That's good. Vinny.
Keep fighting the fight, and don't let CPS in your door. Even if they have a search warrant, you have a right to turn them away.
That's absolutely right. That's good advice, Vinny. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And we'll be back tomorrow night, same time, same place. So thank you guys, Cindy, Vinny, Herbert. Listen, don't forget that you are in control of your situation. When CPS comes to your house, you are the one that is holding the torch, really. Make sure you don't let them in. Don't give them the time of day. Avoid them, just like Mr. Mitchell said. Just be polite about doing it and just deny. Do not give them any information. CPS needs no information. All right, Brooke made it in for last words. Brooke, you got your last words?
Never let a CPS agent in your house without a warrant.
Yeah.
Hold your peace. Don't try to be safe, even if you're a good parent or even if you're a saint. You do not work with them at all. You do not sign anything. Do not contract with this entity before your 60 days.
Yep.
And fight for your children even when you think it's over. You keep on fighting. Your children are all you got.
That's right. That is absolutely right. All right, guys. Well, thank you, Brooke, for joining us tonight. I said my piece, so I am the CPS Punisher, and we are out of here.
Kidnapped, they was taken with lies. CPS tell the stories trying to ruin our lives. My kid was kidnapped. It was all for the cash, a foster kid, child ring. Man, I swear it's all bad. My kid was kidnapped. It was all for the cash. My kid was kidnapped. It was all for the cash. My kid was kidnapped. They was taken with lies.
It started with the way I look, progressed to how I carried it. They couldn't stand a man like me, could understand what marriage is. Providing for my wife and kids the way that I inherited. Mama raised a man that don't know nothing but to care the kids. How can they just come and take what's mine and I ain't caught a case? Never have a CPS, but still my rights were stripped away. Fighting for my right to parent cause I got taxable on my face. See through all your blatant lies, I be the one y'all love to hate. It's wrong what y'all out here doing, lying, taking people's kids. Breaking up a happy home cause y'all don't like the way we live. Long as we providing no abuse, then y'all should mind your business. Stop messing with my right to live. You're breaking laws, release my kids. Tired, I can take it, this is real and I'ma bear it all. Lawyers, they appointed me, never even took my calls. They falsify my drug screens, flat out lied and that ain't all. This whole case a cover up and they ain't gotta follow laws. Kidnapped,
they was taken with lies. CPS telling stories trying to ruin our lives. My kids was kidnapped. It was all for the cash, a foster kid, child rape. Man, I swear it's all bad. My kids was kidnapped. They was taken with lies. CPS telling stories trying to ruin our lives. My kids was kidnapped. It was all for the cash, a foster kid, child rape. Man, I swear it's all bad. My kids was kidnapped. They was taken with lies. CPS telling stories trying to ruin our lives. My kids was kidnapped. It was all for the cash, a foster kid, child rape. Man, I swear it's all bad. My kids was kidnapped.
Tonight for help, come on tell me, do y'all feel my pain? Watch my wife cry herself to sleep and I can do a thing. On the verge of losing it, swear I'm about to go insane. Praying that I have the strength to make it through another day. Can't begin to understand all the stuff my kids go through. The pain they feel or what they think, for real, it's hard to bear the truth. Snatched away, placed with strangers, broke me when I heard the news. Rotting in the prison cell for something I ain't even do. The fight is real and we won't stop till all the kids is coming home. Playing games but they ain't know they dealing with the king of thrones. Lawyered up, got a pit bull, yeah, now it's really on. He did take my family back and trust me, we don't stand alone. This right here's for everyone who going what we going through. Be the voice for all of y'all, the pain y'all feel, I feel it too. This is wrong, it's time for change, pushing hard to make the news. Austin, Trinity, Kiara, Bella, Hope, Cam, this one's for you. Kidnapped.
This song is for all of us facing the struggle. Our kids are being taken with lies and corruption. It's not just happening to me, it's happening to everyone all across this nation. I've seen it firsthand. I've read your stories, your letters, emails. I've read reports, actual findings. Seen it happening to my family, my friends, strangers. We are parents and we're losing our rights based on lies that are being fed to the court. TCF and all these agencies use our kids to keep themselves in business, create false scenarios, change the evidence, pay towards, lie under oath. This has gotta stop.